he is on a mission to regain. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting from East London, England, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing a two-time world heavyweight champion, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
All right, listen up. If it goes right here, Tommy, right here is going to be all right. We've already gone through all the instructions. Expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on!
Yesterday, when we met with them, Lennox Lewis made a big point of telling us that he has learned, since the McCall fight, how to ease his way into a bout, not looking for the big punch from the outset. Tommy Morrison has made a big point of saying, I don't think I can outbox Lennox Lewis. I don't even think it's worth trying.
It's going to be very difficult for Morrison to outbox him. The weight that Lennox has added looks good. He is not too big. He's gained weight in all the right places. It must be mostly in his legs because I cannot tell from his upper body.
It's as formidable a picture as there is in the heavyweight division.
Yes, he is a very intimidating picture just looking at him for a person like Morrison.
What I've noticed early in this fight already, guys, is that
yes, but he can't get lackadaisical with it and slow it down because this is the best punch in boxing to counter right to the body zone. That will move Tommy Morrison's hand, and that will create an opening for the right hand to the face.
he's ready for the great left hook that Morrison does have. And secondly, it's that jab. He's trying to force an opening rather than merely wait for an opening as he has often done in the past.
There he was holding the left hand out there as he tried to land the right hand over the top, but he threw 52 snapping jabs in round number one, and that kind of activity of Lennox Lewis's fighting style.
In the fight, if he starts to tire, Morrison will tire too from these body shots. Morrison seems to be forgetting that same thing right now though. He should be working Lewis's body as well. He's the shorter fighter here. For him to have an advantage, he should throw more body shots that can bring Lewis's hands down. One thing I did like about Tommy is that in between the first and second round in the corner, Tommy was breathing long stride, and that's a good body shot. His combinations, his big punches, which is what I told you earlier about the big punches that he throws.
That's what happens to Morrison. Lewis just misses with the right hand, and now there's blood at Tommy Morrison's right eye. So the little left hook from Lennox Lewis that put Morrison down has apparently also cut his eye. Both fighters need more head movement. Right now, Morrison is the one who needs it most. Round two coming to a close. There was a knockdown in the round for Lewis.
Lewis also has that right hand up around his head like a gate, trying to block Morrison's way in with it.
There's another good left hook by Lennox Lewis as he goes right after the eye that he bloodied in the last round.
The way he's throwing that hook is almost as though he's been watching some Roy Jones tapes or something.
Morrison landed a straight right after the opening exchange, but Lewis still able to keep Morrison out at the end of his jabs for the time being.
Lewis must be careful when he throw the wild punch then. He shouldn't get wild because that's Tommy's game. Tommy needs to throw the wide punches because he's reaching up.
In the decade of the 90s that Tommy Morrison's been down. There's another good left hook for Lennox Lewis.
And if Morrison keeps standing out there and letting Lennox dictate the pace, you can count for a 12th knockdown because he will go down again for Morrison to beat.
So far he has not been able to slip Lewis's jab. He's eating it, and as long as that's the case, he won't get inside.
Well, there he's inside. He can block the jab. He's punching between Morrison's punches, which is what I told you would be a problem for him.
Let him go, Lennox. Let him go, Tommy. Let's get him.
At a time, hoping to tire Lennox in the later round.
He says bringing in a Nevada referee for this fight is one step in that direction.
I can tell you one more thing that I can see. Morrison is getting a little closer to Lennox. This means that Lennox may be getting a little tired in the leg department.
Morrison, I thought, landed a big but grazing right in that exchange.
Watch the heads in there. Both get off that neck. Lewis, come on.
Third round coming to a close. Relatively cautious round for Lewis.
Break him down.
Stewart's pretty confident in there, Roy.
Yeah, but you never should underestimate a puncher such as Tommy Morrison. I wouldn't try to walk him down. I would sit there and box him just like Lennox's doing.
If you've been as successful as Lewis has been up to this point, why would you change it? Why wouldn't you just wait for the big one to come to you?
It's almost like backing a cat into the corner if you put your hands up and walk him down.
He's got a mouse under his left eye, but he's starting to connect more and more frequently with those right hands as he steps inside. Body shot landed, uppercut partially blocked by Morrison.
Yes, and I said that at the top because if Lennox uses this jab like he's doing, then there's no chance of Morrison outboxing him. He should work on trying to counter that jab.
All right. Let him go.
Lewis reaches forward and grabs Morrison.
If it falls, he'll have to be very careful of that right hand right
And
there.
that's what Tommy just tried to do, countering over the jab with the right hand.
All right, one step back. One step back clean. Here we go. Come on.
Blood from the right eye of Morrison again after that left hook by Lewis. Morrison stepping in with the right. And lands a chopping right as the round comes to a close. A statistical coincidence. Morrison seems to tire automatically at the end of 4 rounds. His trainer, Tommy Burgett, says to all intents and purposes, he's never won a 5th round in his career. And as the graphic showed you, his punch output normally goes way down in this stanza. It happened again earlier this summer against Razor Ruddock.
Both of these fighters are very tired. The only thing is that Morrison is starting to swell, and it's going to start, his eyes are starting to swell.
Real good defense. Tommy's not getting through, and I think Burgett is killing Morrison with all that Vaseline. It's going in his eye, can't see the punches coming.
And right now, Lewis is landing combinations at will. When Morrison comes forward, Lennox simply jabs and then drops the right hand over. He's been very effective in the first minute of this round.
2 things I see. One thing is that Morrison knows that
Range and then trying to fight and get inside in his own terms, but Lewis is just much faster than George.
Lennox's range, and he has the longest arms, and that means you're that much further out of your own range.
Morrison landed a left hook after Lewis's right hand, so both men did damage there. Battered around both eyes and appears to be losing his vision as time goes on.
Yes, but look at the facial expression. Morrison has almost an I give up facial expression. Lennox has an I'm about to take over now expression on his face. These things play a big role in a boxing ring. Don't work on Morrison. He knows every combination that Morrison throws, and they're the same. So he cannot hit Lennox.
Round 5 ends.
Yes,
He asked the doctor to give him one more round when the doctor wasn't even thinking of it at that point.
yes, but he can sense the urgency on Morrison's face. Morrison has basically almost given up in this fight. But Morrison just wants a chance to try for one more knockout. Then I think he knows that he's basically outclassed by Lewis.
In pleading his own case, you might have heard Morrison say to the doctor, I've still got my left hook. By way of saying, listen, don't stop this thing too fast. I'm dangerous. But the left hook has not been a factor so far. Down goes Morrison again, and this is becoming a blowout. And Lennox begins to showboat just a little bit. Now he comes back to the jab, popping it and bringing it back the way you're supposed to.
This is the round that Morrison stopped Ruddock after taking a terrible beating.
Lane's getting very close to a stoppage here. You get that sense. Down goes Morrison again, and I wonder if Mills has seen enough. There is no 3 knockdown rule in effect. That's the 4th knockdown of the fight, and that'll do it.
Defensively, he kept that right hand up so that he completely neutralized Tommy Morrison's outstanding left hook. His jab was harder than we've seen it before, more purposeful. He fought a perfect fight for Lennox Lewis.
Emmanuel Stewart has been saying for the past few months, there isn't a heavyweight on the planet who could last 8 rounds with Lennox Lewis. Now that obviously has a touch of hype in it.
Lennox, like I said, has sensed the feeling of urgency on the face of Morrison, so he know all he had to do was hit him. This first one, that's the jab that really did the damage.
KO victory. His march to regain the heavyweight championship continues. The winner, former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis.